Avengers Endgame marks the pinnacle of a decade-long journey in blockbuster filmmaking, representing the culmination of extensive efforts from countless individuals. It aspires to be the ultimate blockbuster, weaving together a myriad of subplots and featuring beloved characters from over 20 preceding films. Unlike anything Hollywood has ever seen before, its purpose transcends mere acknowledgement or exploitation of fan loyalty. Rather, it aims to honor and gratify their enduring love and dedication. Serving as a gratifying conclusion to a monumental chapter in blockbuster history, it sets a lofty standard for sheer spectacle that will be challenging to surpass. In terms of sheer entertainment value, it ranks among the highest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, elevating its iconic heroes to the legendary status they rightly deserve while delivering genuine thrills throughout its narrative. Here's the recap.
In 2018, Clint Barton, under house arrest due to his involvement in the Avengers Civil War, spends time at his homestead with his family. While teaching archery to his daughter Lila, his wife Laura and their sons prepare a picnic. Suddenly, Barton witnesses his family disintegrating into ash, leaving him distraught and alone. 3 weeks after Thanos' devastating act, Tony Stark and Nebula find themselves stranded in space aboard the Benatar, with limited resources. Stark, on the verge of starvation and still recovering from his battle with Thanos, records a final message for his fiancée Pepper Potts. Carol Danvers locates them and brings them back to Earth, where they reunite with Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, Bruce Banner, and James Rhodes. Amidst mourning their fallen comrades, Stark confronts Rogers, blaming him for the disbandment of the Avengers, leading to their inability to confront Thanos united. As tensions rise, Stark collapses from exhaustion. Nebula provides a lead on Thanos' whereabouts, prompting the team to embark on a mission to confront him and reclaim the Infinity Stones. Discovering Thanos alone and scarred, the Avengers ambush him, only to find the stones destroyed. Thanos explains his rationale and is ultimately slain by Thor. Despite his demise, the team realizes they cannot reverse the devastation caused by Thanos. 5 years later, the world struggles to cope with the loss. Rogers leads a support group, while Stark and Potts have married and live with their daughter Morgan. Scott Lang escapes the quantum realm and discovers the magnitude of the tragedy. Reuniting with his daughter Cassie, he shares an emotional reunion. Meanwhile, Romanoff oversees the Avengers' operations, concerned by Barton's descent into vigilantism. Lang proposes a plan to exploit the quantum realm for time travel to retrieve the stones. Seeking Stark's assistance, the team reconciles their differences and prepares for their mission. Assembling a team, they retrieve Thor, recruit a hesitant Stark, and conduct tests on time travel. With the Avengers regrouping, they split into teams to retrieve the stones from different points in time. Despite their preparations, they face challenges and limited resources, realizing the risks involved in altering the past. Rogers, Stark, Banner, and Lang find themselves transported to an alternate 2012 amidst the chaos of the Battle of New York. Banner seeks out the Ancient One at the New York Sanctum, who initially refuses to relinquish the Time Stone. However, upon learning that Doctor Strange had willingly surrendered it to Thanos in the future, she relents, understanding the gravity of the situation. Meanwhile, Stark and Lang attempt to retrieve the Tesseract from Stark Tower, but Loki seizes it and escapes. Rogers manages to acquire the scepter from Strike, but is forced into a confrontation with his past self, leading to a brief skirmish before rejoining Stark and Lang. With limited Pym particles for one more trip each, Stark and Rogers opt to venture back to an alternate 1970 at Camp Lehigh to secure the Tesseract and additional Pym particles. Meanwhile, Lang remains behind with the scepter. At the S.H.I.E.L.D. base, Rogers encounters Peggy Carter while covertly obtaining the particles from Hank Pym, while Stark crosses paths with his father, Howard, after securing the Tesseract. Their encounters provide closure and poignant moments before departing. In an alternate 2013 on Asgard, Thor grapples with his emotions upon encountering his late mother, Frigga, on the day of her eventual death. After a heart-to-heart conversation, Thor comes to terms with his grief and retrieves Mjolnir, reaffirming his worthiness. In an alternate 2014, Barton and Romanoff embark on a mission to Vormir, while Nebula and Rhodes await Peter Quill's arrival on Morag to obtain the Power Stone. However, their plans are hindered when Nebula's past self is captured by Thanos, who learns of the Avengers' efforts to thwart him. Meanwhile, Barton and Romanoff confront the challenge of sacrificing a loved one to retrieve the Soul Stone, ultimately leading to Romanoff's selfless sacrifice. Returning to the present, the Avengers grapple with the loss of Romanoff and vow to honor her sacrifice. Banner, now the only one capable of withstanding the stone's radiation, wields a new gauntlet and successfully reverses the effects of Thanos' snap, restoring the fallen. However, Their moment of triumph is short-lived as past Nebula unwittingly allows Thanos to travel to the present, triggering a devastating attack on the Avengers compound. As chaos ensues, the Avengers rally their allies from across time and space to confront Thanos and his forces in a battle for the fate of the universe. With newfound resolve and reinforcements, they prepare to face their greatest challenge yet. Banner explains to Barton the urgency of retrieving the stones and keeping them away from Thanos. With their primary time machine destroyed, they resort to the van as their only remaining option. Ant-Man and Wasp swiftly take action to hotwire the vehicle as Thanos' forces draw near. Barton passes the gauntlet to Black Panther before facing the advancing threat. As Thanos charges toward Black Panther, his path is intercepted by Wanda Maximoff, driven by vengeance for Vision's death at Thanos' hands in 2018. Meanwhile, T'Challa finds himself ensnared by Ebony Maw, only to be rescued by Spider-Man, who seizes the gauntlet. Meanwhile, Wanda's relentless assault leaves Thanos defenseless as she dismantles his armor and suspends him in the air. In a desperate attempt to escape, Thanos orders a missile strike from Sanctuary 2, causing widespread destruction. Doctor Strange intervenes to prevent further catastrophe, diverting his attention from the battle. Suddenly, Carol Danvers arrives and swiftly dispatches Sanctuary 2, joining forces with other female warriors to retrieve the gauntlet. However, Thanos destroys the van and the quantum portal with his sword, thwarting their plan. With the gauntlet within Thanos' reach, Stark, Rogers, Thor, and Danvers make a final stand to prevent him from seizing it. Despite their efforts, Thanos gains control of the gauntlet. Strange reassures Stark that this outcome leads to their victory. Determined, Stark confronts Thanos, who attempts to use the stones but finds them missing. Stark, having transferred the stones to his suit, uses them to defeat Thanos and his forces, at the cost of his own life. As Stark succumbs to his injuries, he is comforted by his loved ones, including Rhodes, Parker, and Potts. Stark shares a final moment with Potts before passing away. Rogers and Thor mourn his loss from afar. With Thanos defeated and the Vanished returned, celebrations ensue worldwide. At Stark's funeral, his legacy is honored, and he leaves a heartfelt message for his family and friends. Outside New Asgard, Thor passes the mantle to Valkyrie and joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. Meanwhile, Rogers chooses to remain in the past, living a full life with Peggy Carter. As an elderly man, he passes on the shield of Captain America to Sam Wilson, symbolizing the continuation of his legacy.
In the aftermath of the universe's devastation, Endgame highlights the original 6 Avengers, who serves as the heart of the MCU thus far. The film skillfully navigates their character arcs, providing each hero with a spotlight, similar to a standalone movie within Avengers Endgame itself. It delivers superhero spectacle of unprecedented proportions, surpassing anything witnessed in the MCU or any other superhero film to date. Serving as a culmination of the MCU's narrative thus far, Endgame embraces action wholeheartedly, while it occasionally reverts to Marvel's traditional pitfalls, such as an abundance of disposable villains, excessive CGI, and subdued visual tones. These are balanced with moments centered on character development. Many of these instances unabashedly cater to fans, contributing to the film's grand, celebratory atmosphere, which feels fitting after 11 years and 21 movies in the MCU's journey. As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.